There are many messages in the film: hope, tolerance, tenacity, and I just wondered which message resonated most with you from the film.
I think that the message that I think comes out vividly is that education is something that is a right and which Maruge wanted to highlight. Particularly for developing countries in which Maruge grew up, Kenya, and which had a colonial legacy, which tended to suppress the Africans from getting real education, which Maruge wanted as a young man. He couldn't get it because of circumstances that prevented him to go to school. And so he fought for it. He fought as a Mau Mau freedom fighter to see that those freedoms, such as getting education, free education, were recognized and would be recognized in the Kenya that he was fighting to see come into fruition. So that to me was the most important message that I got from him, that the man was determined. The man wanted an education. He wanted an education for all Kenyans, and he fought to see that Kenya was free to get all the freedoms that a free country or a democratic country should have.
Thank you.
Thank you, and this is the director, Justin Chadwick. Glad you could join us. Naomie, would you like to answer that question?
Yeah, for me, the message that really resonated with me was about the possibility of change and growth at any age. I think we live in I know we do live in an incredibly ageist society, and it's almost like you're past 35 and you're over the hill and that's it, your life should be over. And it's so nice to hear a story, have a story about someone who's 84 and says, you know what, this is when my life begins, in fact, and I had the possibility to make this incredible change and to learn how to read and write, and I want to actually go on to be a vet as well. I think that's a wonderful message that, at any age it's possible to make that change and to, realise your dreams, really.
Justin, the question was, of the many elements and themes in the film, which one has most resonance for you?
I think it's got to be the healing power of children, really. The whole process for me I don't know how much you've talked before, but going out and making the film, everybody said that we should shoot it in South Africa, and I really fought hard to shoot it in Kenya, and we ended up going into a community which was a Maasai Kikuyu community. The children had never seen a TV, they'd not seen cinema, and just these beautiful kids that would emerge every day in that landscape, 2.5 hours away from any city, and just that the way they were and are. There's some pretty traumatic things that happen in the film, and I try to kind of balance that with this energy of these children. If you were around children, particularly those children that we were with, they were just beautiful. The spirit of those children, the thirst for learning, the desire to learn, that was the kind of the theme that I was most excited about.
Can I help you, Mzee? This is a primary school. Mzee, they meant children, not adults.
No. I heard on the radio, with my own ears. They said everybody.
We have 200 students and only 50 desks. Look at this. We can't waste them on an old man with one foot in the grave. Mzee, where are your exercise books? You need 2. And 1 HB pencil, sharp, with a rubber on one end. Those are the regulations.
Could you tell us a little bit about the Windows 7 competition and about what you learned collectively? Is there something about all the filmmakers that you've been working with that sort of surprised you or enlightened you?
I guess from Windows 7 is that there's a lot of passionate people out there, and it's about having an idea that I guess is really clear and that you can put up on the big screen and that it carries and that it has that that sort of enigmatic quality, I think, or something different. I think that's what the two movies that we chose as the winning movies, they had something that was unique, but it also could be up there on the big screen in amongst like a 40s femme fatale movie or sort of an intriguing sort of independent movie, or Paul Greengrass. It kind of reminded me the one that was chosen, the not the femme fatale one.
And was it extremely hard to narrow down into the final selection?
I have to be honest, it was pretty unanimous on one of them. Like there was one movie that everyone was like instantly drawn to. The other one, there was a little bit more of a debate, really, because it was kind of, do we go for the kind of commercial or the more quirky? But there was some really great entries, and some that, you know, that it makes it hard to choose.
Hi Naomie, how you doing?
Very good, thanks.
I saw the film this morning, thought it was amazing.
Did you?
Yeah, really good.
Great, I'm so pleased.
Could you tell us a little bit about the things that you found challenging and also the parts you found easy about playing the role of Jane?
I found all of it quite challenging, to be honest, because there's the Kenyan accent, which was, you know, quite a challenge to get, and also just teaching these children. I went to the school 2 weeks before we started filming with my Kenyan accent, and I was introduced as Teacher Jane. I had a class of 80 children that I had to teach every single day and come up with lesson plans for them, and so that was incredibly challenging, but it really helped me to find Jane. You know, without that baptism of fire, I would never have found her, so it was worth it.
And when you're working on such an involved project, is it difficult to finish? Is it hard to come off?
It is. I mean, in the sense that, you know, I just miss the children, and I remember, like, when I watched it for the first time at Telluride, another festival that we were at, and I cried my eyes out because I just missed them so much. Like, you know, and that's the thing, when you're working on these jobs, you immerse yourself so deeply, and you spend such a long time there with them that it feels like such a wrench when you've got to go, and then, you know, you can't see them again. You know, they're the other side of the world, and that's really tough.
One of the filmmaking techniques used in the film was the flashbacks, and prior to the flashbacks we get these close-up shots of you. I was wondering what kind of direction you and Justin work on, or if it's something that you do yourself just to do these, because obviously we're not just seeing the flashback, we're seeing you doing Marugi's character and what he experiences remembering these events.
Yeah. Well, I think Justin as a director is very good. We work together very well. He gave me the freedom to say and to do what I felt like doing, so long as it was within the spirit of the story. And those flashbacks were very instrumental in my feelings, my mood. When you see my wife being dragged away and the kid being dragged and pulled from her, you know, it gives you that feeling that you have to be strong. She was strong, Maruge was strong, and those flashbacks were an additional inspiration in my acting in the movie.